How are we doing on time, Alana?
America's Next Top Model is finally available for streaming, and fans are seeing Tyra Banks in a whole new light.
I feel like when so many people look at people in entertainment, they think that you're just playing.
The former model turned talk show host and entrepreneur came under fire when a clip showcasing her problematic behavior on the show started making rounds on the internet.
Do you really think you can have a CoverGirl contract with a gap in your mouth?
Yeah, why not?
However, the clip in question isn't the first time Tyra Banks' behavior has been questionable. In the past, she has been known to endanger models on set, verbally abuse them on camera, and pressure models into insensitive photo shoots. On top of her problematic conduct, there have been tons of rumors of celebrity feuds circulating for years, alongside accusations from former employees regarding what it's like to work for the famous diva. Is there more hiding behind the surface of Tyra's famous smize?
And I was like, smile with your eyes, smile with your eyes. After a while, it was like, I need a bit more.
Now that America's Next Top Model is available for streaming, it was only a matter of time before Tyra's most problematic clips began circulating on the internet. During Cycle 6, Tyra decided to give the girls an extra special treat, a trip to the dentist. Tyra typically subjected her models to drastic makeovers, so that was no surprise. However, Miss Banks also has a track record of taking things too far and pushing models past the breaking point. Case in point, she famously forced several models to chop off their ultra-long hair in favor of a more fashionably pixie cut during the show's run, which left models in tears. There were also a number of hair extension disasters over the years. This controversial clip, however, featured Danielle "Danny" Evans being asked to close the gap in her teeth, which, as far as Tyra's makeovers go, seemed a little extreme even for her. In the end, Danny chose to leave her gap intact. Her decision would ultimately lead Tyra to confront her on national television, questioning whether or not Danny actually wanted to win. Tyra even went as far as telling Danny that her gap wasn't marketable, nor would she ever land a CoverGirl contract with a gap in between her teeth. If that wasn't humiliating enough, Tyra placed her finger in front of her own teeth and exclaimed, "This is all people see," in regard to Danny's tooth gap.
Well, I guess she just left the gap wide open for another girl, baby.
I agree.
Danny, however, took the confrontation in stride and maintained that she didn't see why she couldn't be a CoverGirl with a gap in between her teeth. That didn't stop Tyra from holding Danny's decision over her head, though. At elimination, Tyra had a fierce grip on Danny's photo and appeared to use it as a bargaining chip, telling Danny she wasn't eliminated but reminded her that she needed to get her gap closed all the way. Unfortunately for Tyra, the clip in question started making the rounds online and fans clapped back with their take on the matter. They felt that Tyra was body-shaming Danny and forcing her to adhere to beauty norms, which of course would not be a first for her on the show. Danny Evans later spoke out about the clip in an Instagram video where she states her truth and provides clarity about the incident between her and Tyra. Danny's side of the story attempts to excuse Tyra's behavior by initially placing blame on the dentist. In fact, Danny claims that she didn't find out that Tyra was the one who wanted her to close the gap in her teeth until they were already filming the controversial scene. She felt as though the tension between her and Tyra was a setup in order to create more riveting television.
Not being told that Tyra wants me to get my gap closed so that it's good for TV.
Tyra herself has since responded on Twitter saying, "Looking back, those were some really off choices. Appreciate your honest feedback and am sending so much love and virtual hugs." Unfortunately, Gapgate isn't the first time Tyra Banks has landed herself in hot water for her behavior either. Allegedly forcing models to drastically change their appearance is just the start of her problematic behavior. She has a long history of endangering models, verbally abusing them on national television, and criticizing aspiring models while claiming to help foster their careers. Perhaps most infamously was Tyra's on-air lecture, for lack of a better word, directed at Tiffany Richardson of America's Next Top Model Cycle 4. Tiffany originally auditioned for Cycle 3, but a confrontation she had with other models forced Tyra to boot her from the show. After a bout in anger management, Tyra allowed her to return for Cycle 4. However, as the show continued on, Tyra repeatedly criticized Tiffany for what she felt was her waning commitment to America's Next Top Model. In fact, Tyra was so fed up with Tiffany's behavior that she put her up for elimination. Tiffany's attitude at elimination wasn't up to Tyra's high standards either. She criticized Tiffany until she was pushed to defend herself. While Tyra chewed Tiffany out on national TV, she stated that she was rooting for her all along. You might remember this moment.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
Miss Banks states that she's never in her life yelled at a girl like this, but her attitude in that moment had us second-guessing the honesty of that statement. Alongside that, Tyra has been known to put her models in dangerous situations. During Cycle 7, the final 4 contestants were set to do a photo shoot in a freezing pool of water. Cara D. English was forced to finish her shoot early because she wasn't feeling well, and it later turned out that she had hypothermia. When Tyra was made aware of the situation, she confronted Cara D about not speaking up for herself while simultaneously dragging her for not being strong enough to avoid hypothermia. What? Other problematic incidents include insensitive photo shoots featuring models in culturally insensitive makeup and costumes. The public controversies are the facets of Tyra's life that she has allowed the public to see. So what goes on behind closed doors? Some of Tyra's former staff have come out stating that Mrs. Banks is a terror to work for and a total diva. If that's the case, then it's no surprise that her shows allegedly have a high turnover rate as well. An unnamed source stated everything had to be done Tyra's way. However, some former employees have stated that working for Tyra was a good experience and that her diva-ness is what sells, calling into question whether it's really her personality or just her brand.
But the really, truly successful people that have sustainability, they're not playing. They're doing business.
According to some former top model contestants, Tyra is building an empire on the backs of young girls' dreams. Angela Preston of Cycle 17 sued Tyra Banks for mistreatment she allegedly suffered during filming of the show. Preston stated that the show routinely denied the models food in order to make them more confrontational for the cameras, along with using her health scares as a tactic to create more dynamic scenes for TV. During the run of the now defunct Tyra Banks show, employees have recalled how stingy Miss Banks was. Allegedly, in lieu of a holiday bonus, employees received McDonald's cheeseburgers. It was also rumored that Tyra told the media about the cancellation of her show before telling her employees that they were out of work. It should also be noted that a lot of these employees had uprooted their lives from Los Angeles to New York for the Tyra Banks show. After a ratings drop from Cycle 17 to Cycle 18 on America's Next Top Model, Tyra's core team, made up of Nigel Barker, Jay Manuel, and Jay Alexander, were all fired from the show. Tyra, however, wished them fierce and love on Twitter and was excited for what the future holds. Nigel Barker, however, was quick to note that his firing wasn't a Tyra thing, it was a network thing. There was also a period of time where Tyra herself quit America's Next Top Model. If quitting your own show isn't a big mood, I don't know what is. Back when America's Next Top Model was allegedly done after Cycle 22, Tyra stated that it was time for the show to finally end. Viewers thought that the show was over, but instead it came back with Rita Ora as a host for one season before bringing Tyra back as the host again. Rumor has it that she and Janice Dickinson were never friends either. Dickinson took issue with the fact that she felt as though she was being conned during her time on America's Next Top Model. She has stated that she thought she was actually helping judge a TV franchise. Janice claims that her input did not help determine the winner of the show, and that she felt depressed knowing she was part of a show that was rigged. However, Janice and Tyra have allegedly mended their friendship in later years.
I really apologize to you, Tyra, for the things I might have said to you, because she is a great lady.
If Tyra can't get along with her closest co-workers and alleged friends, then it's no surprise that several celebrities harbor some dislike towards Miss Banks. According to Nicki Swift, Tyra's haters include a long list of celebrities from comedians to fellow models. Following the rumors of the Tyra Banks show, there was allegedly tension on the Fab Life set between Tyra Banks and Chrissy Teigen. Page 6 reported that Tyra was frustrated with the general direction of the show, which led to, of course, people assuming Teigen was at fault. It was also alleged that Teigen banned Banks from her baby shower in 2016, and the tension got to the point that Tyra allegedly wouldn't make eye contact with Chrissy when they were on set. Yikes. The rumors eventually forced Chrissy Teigen to comment on Twitter, "I don't know if you guys know how bosses work, but if Tyra and I were fighting as hard as you're saying, I would be the one off the show." However, Tyra did eventually leave the show, and ABC and Disney stated that they would not renew the show a year after her departure. And speaking of rumored feuds between models, it's alleged that Tyra Banks and Naomi Campbell had a long-running feud spanning some 15 odd years. Okay, so it's not really alleged. The two have not been shy about sharing the details of their quarrels over the years. According to Tyra, a lot of their issues stem from the now semi-famous yacht photo shoot where Naomi asked Tyra, "Do they try to make you look like me?" When Tyra admitted that they tried to make her look more like Naomi back in Los Angeles, Naomi allegedly pushed Tyra away and left. After that, Tyra states that she went from calling Naomi mom and looking up to her to feeling shut out. Wendy Williams, who is no stranger to controversy herself, has urged Tyra Banks to get over it in regard to her past feud with Naomi Campbell. Nikki Swift reports that Joel McHale and Ryan Singer have worked Tyra Banks into their comedy acts. Singer took issue with Tyra's penchant for putting on fat suits. McHale simply used Tyra as a punchline at every opportunity as Banks attempted to stop a segment of The Soup that showed her in an unflattering light. Paulina Poroskova replaced Twiggy as a judge on America's Next Top Model in cycle 10, but was cut loose from the show without much explanation. When questioned on Dateline about Poroskova, "Let's not go there," was the response of Tyra Banks' publicist. Tyra herself countered with, "Why do you think?" Unfortunately for Tyra, Paulina was less inclined to keep the details to herself and let Craig Ferguson know that she was fired over the phone for having a huge ego. However, Tyra and Paulina have reconciled, and Paulina admitted that she wasn't the easiest to work with. It appears as though some of Tyra's biggest enemies have become her closest friends over the years, signifying that maybe Tyra is capable of change. Even Danny Evans herself clarified that the cameras don't show it all. Does Tyra deserve the backlash she's getting, or should America's Next Top Model be viewed as a relic of the past? What do you think went on behind the scenes on America's Next Top Model? Let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to The Taco. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.